Alright, Steve's Giant Pumpkins at Hematite Homestead. Haven't posted a video in 22 days. You probably thought I fell off the radar. I haven't fallen off the radar. I'm still growing. I'm still here. Let's go take a look. And we'll make a quick stop by the 150 plant. This plant looks terrible. It looks so bad. Even the groundhog doesn't want nothing to do with it anymore. Fighting powdery mildew on this for about 3 weeks now. Keep giving it some Dac and nail spray. In this plant's defense, it didn't get the regular bug treatment or systemic treatment that the main patch pumpkins get. It did get it, but just not to the degree that those plants got it. You can kind of see, there's my border right there underneath the weeds. So all the plant is in the border, and the weeds are coming out of the border, so hopefully that's not disqualifying for weeds to be out of the border. Here's some marrow here that I needed to get rid of a month ago and didn't do. Yeah, leaves are in terrible shape. Pretty sure I'm going to take this to Robert's Family Farm in 2 weeks. Really don't have much choice on that. Here's a bushel gourd that I finally got one to take, and I did it by doing absolutely nothing. I was getting ready to yank all this plant out of here. It starts way back there, and it ran that way, and it filled in all this. And I was getting ready to get rid of it all, and found this guy here about a month ago. So I don't care what it weighs. It's not going to matter to me one bit. It's going to the Virginia State Fair in 20 days, regardless of weight. So there's that. Couple tomatoes, they're about done too. This I thought this patch bean over here next to the pig thing would be easy to work in. I'd be over here twice a day no matter what, feeding pigs, but it just didn't work out that way. And you could tell. Fought weeds from day one and kind of gave up on it, really. I had a marrow back there that vine borers got. Finally yanked it out of there. It did grow way into here, from back there all the way around up into here, and I just couldn't ever get anything to pollinate on it, so I just got rid of it, tossed it over the fence. The other half of it is still over there up along the fence line, and yeah, this is embarrassing, but I'm going to do something way different over here next year. Alright, let's look at this 150 square foot fruit. A 2080 Bernstrom pollinated with the 2222 Ginger. It's still growing despite how ugly the plant is. It's growing back this way. It's getting fat. It is estimating larger than last year's 150 square foot fruit. These things came on it, I don't know, I'd have to look at my calendar. I want to say it was 6 weeks ago or so. You know, I thought I was losing. I thought it was going to rot out, but it's doing okay. I guess it's some type of disease from cucumber beetles probably. And here's a few spots on it. I don't know if that's sunburn or what there. That sheet hasn't been off of it. So challenged fruit on challenged plant. And like I mentioned already, it's probably going to go to Kentucky in about, I guess, 9 days from now. 13 days, something like that. 2 weeks. A little bit less than 2 weeks. And not really just because it's not growing anymore, because it is. It's doing around 5 pounds a day right now. But looking at the calendar, I'm not able to do any of the weigh-offs first weekend of October. So I want to get it on the scale, get official weight on it. So probably going to take it to Kentucky. And I'm guessing it's in the 600 pound range right now. I haven't taped it in a while. I kind of gave up on taping it. I switched to 10-day measurements on it. And last time I measured it, it was like 618 pounds. But I think it's probably lighter than that, because I think there's a lot of cavity in there. It sounds like a basketball when you pat on it. So I don't know. We'll see what it weighs and do something different with the 150 square foot hula hoop circle next year. Alright, the 150 square foot hula hoop grow. Pretty embarrassing right here, right? So how about we go over and take a look at something that's making me proud. Alright, in the main patch. We haven't been out here in about 3 weeks. Just life gets busy. Yeah, look, there's no 2501 Burnstrom anymore. I'll go down there and take a closer look. In the meantime, I had a field pumpkin exorcism take place right up here. Pumpkin guts all over the patch, everything just blowing up. Still got one right there that might do something, and two right there that aren't doing much, so we'll see what we get. Speaking of weeds, it's a little more. This plant's been gone for about 3 weeks now. I thought I was doing a really good job of keeping up with the weeds in here, but after I got the plant out, I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I didn't do that great of a job. But it looks way worse now than it did 3 weeks ago. But even 3 weeks ago, I wasn't pleased with the weed growth underneath the canopy. Lost to Maine. It was terminated from the crown. I think we said that on the last video. I don't remember. It's been so long since we had a video. Spewing out pretty violently at the stem, so I cut everything back from here back. What's left on it is the head of the plant. That's the new main that was grown from that secondary. Looking pretty bad, looking pretty weak. It's still rooted in up at top, and this fruit, it quit growing quite some time ago. It had issues right from the get-go. Whatever disease was in this main vine just wiped it out. I was never able to get ahead of it. I just chased it all the way up. I actually split that vine over there, and seeing how well that took, and keeping that plant going. And I thought about splitting this one early in the growth, and we didn't do it. I hesitated, and I thought, okay, let's just see where it goes. I think it's all right, and that's what you get. One thing I do want to point out is all this is secondary growth that came off of the main, and it's totally detached. You see, there's no main here. It's totally detached. Each vine is not even connected to each other. Each vine is its own plant, its own life, and I left it here on purpose just to show it on video. This is why you make every effort to bury your nodes and establish roots, because this plant is still going and growing like crazy, even spitting out a few fruit here and there, and it's absolutely attached to no main vine or nothing. I'm not lobbying to not grow on main vines, but I'm just showing you that when things go bad, there's still hope. Alright, so now that I got everything off of this fruit, we can take a look at this right here. This is where I dropped the jug of ice on it when it was 3 days old. And nice hard and healed up. And, that was just one of many problems that this fruit had. And I don't remember what the last estimate on this was. I want to say it was 740 pounds. I don't think it weighs that. It's drying out. This is all nice and dry now. It's not getting much water from this stem, this vine here. I cut this off with one of my favorite pig knives. And I was looking all over. I was like, man, I know I had that knife right here. What'd I do with it? And then I found it right here. So more dumb stuff happening to this fruit. I treated it with some alcohol, put the fan on it, and it made an attempt to heal up. It's not very deep, just a flesh wound. This plant's had every dumb rock thrown at it this year, right from the get-go. So it's going to get on a scale this weekend, and it's going to weigh what it's going to weigh. But maybe we'll do better with it next year. Alright, from way over here next to scrap, we're going to look at the 2144.5 Rotoball, the 2222 Ganger. Both of these plants right now have reached my personal best mark. This one measured just a handful of pounds less than my personal best 3 days ago. And this one is several hundred pounds ahead of it. So which one's going to get weighed first? It's going to be all determinant on plant health when the Virginia State Fair rolls around 20 days from now. Right now, just evaluating things, this is definitely the better plant. We'll go up here and look at the 2144. Leaves are dying off. It's I've trimmed leaves off some secondaries in the back. I lost one of the secondaries back here. I scraped some of the main vine off, but nothing hurting me too bad there. It's showing its age, and got some nice new growth from like here forward, but not near the amount that the 2222 has down there. So just projecting the way everything looks right now, the way everything's going, this one will go to the Virginia State Fair in 20 days. And it's going to be a game time decision for either one. I do have a few issues on that plant down there. That is the heavier of the two fruit, and ideally I would like to get it grown longer and get as much weight on that one as possible. Although this one is no disappointment by far. Alright, the camera don't do it no justice. This is a beautiful orange. It's probably the prettiest pumpkin I've ever grown, and it doesn't even look that big right here in the photos, but it is big. Like I mentioned 3 days ago, it was just a handful of pounds less than my personal best. The mother of this was 23% heavy, and I'm convinced that this thing is every bit. I know the chart changed this year, but this thing is a boulder. Yeah, I'm expecting some double-digit heaviness out of this fruit, and we're going to find out in a few weeks. I mean, worst comes to worst, I think I can get this plant to continue to grow. The main vine is, I would call it 95% healthy. I don't have the I don't have the powdery mildew on this plant that I had been fighting on the 2222. So both plants have some positives and some negatives, and like I said, it's going to be a game time decision. I'm going to the Virginia State Fair in 20 days. It's either going to be this one or it's going to be the other one. So just have to make a gut-wrenching call on that day. All right, the 2222 ganger, hot damn, earned her name. All right, I've split the main right back here about 1, 2, 3. That's the fourth node from the crown. That's looking really good. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it there. It's really thin and drying up on the other side, but it really did way better than I anticipated it would. Came home from my golf trip in August and had a big blowout right here, and you know, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't go on that trip because I always come home to trouble, but it's doing okay. Lost the secondary up here. This is some of it here. I need to get out of the patch. Lots of new growth on this plant. You can see it climbing up the fence down there. I kind of got behind. I had it all cleaned up and all the extra unwanted growth was out of it, and just a few days later it's climbing the fence down there. So I need to go down there and get the pigs some pumpkin vine to chew on, and plant still looks really good. You know, I've got some you can see here some old leaves withering out and giving up, but it's nothing compared to this plant back here. It's looking really good from, like, you know, this point all the way around, all that new growth down there. And it's really driving this fruit. Weight gains on this fruit were down to 8 pounds a day for 10 days, I want to say. And my last 10-day measurement, it was back up in the low teens. So it's still doing some work, still growing. All right, there she is. Hot damn. I can't even get her all in the camera. She's long. She's getting fat. I think she's solid as a rock back here on the rear end. We'll climb in here and take a closer look at a few things. Developed a bit of a crack back here in the back. I've been watching very closely, taking pictures of it every day, and it actually looks better today than it did yesterday. So I had the sheet covering this back here, and the fans blowing on the sheet, and after this developed, then I put the sheets back on the fan so this gets some direct airflow. I did probe it yesterday with a zip tie, and it's just a surface crack, so, and it already healed down in here. But you see, it already did it here, and here, here. This is cantaloupe, this is a little bit of crack in here that's healed up. And this is a big old heavy fruit, man. We talked about this dip in her, and the dip's going away. Still dipped down a little bit right here, but even not as much as it had been. And I got a little bit of water laying on my cover. I got to get off of that. I scraped on the stem a little bit, but it's looking pretty good. Staying nice and dry. Keep the fan on it, even though it looks good now. I'm going to take 0 chances with this. And just growing big and fat this direction and that direction. Switched to 10-day measurements on her also. I did all my fruit, switched them all to 10 days. And the reason I did that is because I think 8 pounds a day in a big old fruit like this, it's too much margin of error in measuring, and I don't want to measure stuff and get less than I got 5 days ago. I was pleased with my last 10-day measurement. This thing is personal best by several hundred pounds. But like I say, it's in close competition with the 2144 fruit, and it's going to be a game time decision which one goes where. I'm going to have to closely monitor this crack and just keep watching it for plant health and fruit health. And when it's time to go, it's going to go. All right, that's the update for September 8th, 2025. Still a slim chance that I'm going to backdoor my way into a GPC Jacket. Here's what's got to happen. Scrat right here behind me, going to Wild and Wonderful this weekend in 4 days. She's got to weigh 600 to 700 pounds. Now, her last estimate by OTT was 740 pounds. I don't think she weighs that. I'm pretty sure she's like to chart. All right, now here behind me, Doris, the 2144.5 rotoball, and hot damn, the 2222 Ginger pollinated with the 2144. So here's what's got to happen. Both of these got to pick up 300 more pounds in the next 4-ish weeks. And, they have to go double-digit heavy. Now, I know the chart's changed, right? The mother of this fruit right here is 23% heavy. I'd like to think that gets me 10 to 15% heavy on the new chart. And there's no doubt in my mind that she is heavy. And then there's a 2222 Ginger, the hot damn fruit. There's no doubt in my mind she's 20% heavy. I'm willing to bet the farm on it. She's boulder, solid as a rock. She's got to put on a few more 100 pounds and be double-digit heavy, and I might backdoor my way into a GPC Jacket. Some new calculations, new projections, got me rethinking my way off strategy, my way off plan. Now, do I skip the Virginia State Fair in 19 days from now and push these fruit as long as possible? Few risks involved in that. Biggest one is I'm not able to go to a way off between the Virginia State Fair until October 11th at Chillicothe, Ohio. That's 13 days. That's 13 days. If something goes sour, goes south in a hot minute, I'm going to have a fruit out here with no scale to put it on. So got to think about that. I have to continue to evaluate things every single day and just see where we're at. It's going to be a game time decision come September 26th if I harvest the fruit and take it to the Virginia State Fair, or if I push the limits to try to get every ounce possible out of them. All right, am I going to do it? Keep watching and find out, and we will see you next time.